we've been doing, but we are currently live now with the picks and bans. This is Team Yeti Bot versus Team Moncity. Yeti Bot is the blue team, Moncity is the purple team, and we have the picks and bans going out. We've got Shen and TF so far, so it's going to be a pretty globalist game that we can see. Thresh ban, not too uncommon. I don't think Riven ban, so I was going to say I don't know if these teams know each other very well, if they know any of the players on either team in particular. Like I said, Shen, Twisted Fate, Thresh, all pretty general bans. Riven it's a rather uncommon ban, so I would imagine that might be targeted. Do you know anything about these teams, Mike?
I don't. I know when I played in the...
Mr. Friend.
I played in the tournament a while back, and I mean, you would do your research on the team, because the brackets go up fairly early, so you would generally pick you would scout them out a little bit.
Okay, well, I just got in the chat that Mr. Friend is a pretty good Riven player, so that's probably targeted at him, which makes sense. Riven, a very dangerous champion in the right hands. Blitzcrank and Jarvan, also fairly standard bans, though. So you see Gogeta picking up Sona for Team Yeti Bot, and Leona being chosen for Team Moncity. So we're going to see probably an aggressive lane. Yeah, Tristana, Leona coming out of Team Moncity there for the bot lane. Yeah, and I don't know if... I'm imagining it's probably not Jungle Leona, but we could be totally wrong, and they could be pulling a fast one over us there. So that's certainly that's certainly an option at this point. I also don't know these teams very well, so I'm looking forward to seeing what they bring us. And now we've got a Zyra and a Caitlyn for Team Yeti Bot, so mid Zyra. I haven't seen a mid Zyra in quite some time, actually. I'll be interested to see if Noah's Whale does in fact play Zyra mid. I will be interested to see how he does it. Not that I'm positing that Zyra can't play mid, however, I just haven't seen one in a very long time. She mostly likes to stick to the bot lane from the games that I've watched.
Yeah, I would actually love to see a Jungle Leona. I was forced to do it in a ranked game due to me not watching Champ Select.
Oh, really?
And I just assumed I was supporting, so I just locked in Leona. They're like, oh, we don't have a jungler, so
yeah, they're not having a jungler. We've had many instances of that. Oh, we see Nose Whale switching Zyra to Diana, so it looks like we're going to see Diana mid instead, which is presumably mid. Well, yes. It's difficult to see it's difficult to see champions like Sona and Zyra on the same side when you know that both of them could play support. It's a good way to fake out the enemy team. There's a lot of mid champions that have been tried as supports of recently. Lux, Zyra, I've even seen some Morganas and Orianas down there occasionally, so you do have that. And we're going to see a Sejuani and a Syndra. Syndra, an incredibly potent champion, able to kill people in one combo once she hits level 6. Anybody, not just mid lanes.
yeah, Skarners,
for instance. Or a Kha'Zix. A Kha'Zix also is an option. And with the rise of Season 3, we've seen Kha'Zix, Zed, and Talon all going mid a lot more often, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but we're going to have the Syndra instead. So be interested to see that mid matchup, Syndra versus Diana. Diana going to try to close that gap, no doubt. We've got a Nautilus, it looks like. Nautilus and Renekton. Nautilus Malphite. Nasus Malphite. Nautilus Malphite. We're just gonna dance around the LMNOP region of champions and see what we can pick up there.
I mean, it looks like they're trying to find somebody to synchronize with Sona really well, like Diana.
Yeah, and right there, you know, Nautilus Malphite, Sona, Diana, that combo of just making sure everybody stays in one place while we just put down the damage. That's gonna work. That's a lot of AoE lockdown. So looks like we know exactly where both comps are going. On the purple side, we've got a Leona and a Sejuani, both also capable of a rather large degree of AoE lockdown. So Sona Caitlyn going to try to be a pretty passive poke-oriented bot lane, whereas we have Tristana Leona, a very aggressive, let's go in and get some bot lane. So we'll see what that yields. And a Rumble rounded out.
Nose Whale, I know you're watching this, and you have very, very big shoes to fill.
Yeah, from the last Diana game. I don't know how many of you guys watched that Diana game at the end. The last game, I think that was the... What teams were those, Mike?
That was... You had, I'm really bad with names. I can't recall the other names.
Okay.
But sorry, Smash Brothers.
Series Smash Brothers and Recon Gaming. Yep, there we go. Thank you. Yeah, the Surrey Smash Brothers had just the ballsiest Diana player I've seen in a long time, diving 3 towers deep just to pick up a kill. She got out most of the time. It was a rather spectacular assortment of Diana plays. So, Nose Whale, that's what we just got left off of for Diana. So we expect to see equally ballsy business. And now we're going to the spectator delay of 3 minutes. So we'll take a look at the lane matchups. We've got, as we said, Sona Caitlyn, passive poke lane for bottom for Team Yeti bot. We've got Tristana Leona, a really aggressive bot lane on Moncity. And we also, the Caitlyn took cleanse, the Tristana took barrier. What are your thoughts on that, Mike?
I actually can't see summoners right now.
Oh, you
I have to watch. Oh no,
right.
I can watch summoner. I can look at him now.
Yeah. I mean, Tristana taking barrier, Leona taking exhaust, obviously. Sona taking exhaust, but Caitlyn taking cleanse. Both Caitlyn and Tristana have a means of getting out of a sticky situation should they find themselves in one. I think it's interesting that Tristana would take barrier instead of cleanse in that regard. Both teams have a pretty high degree of CC. You know,
Well, I mean, we can look at it this way: the CC of the blue side.
Mm-hmm.
Once you're in it, it doesn't matter if you cleanse. You're probably just gonna die.
That's true.
Caitlyn, if she gets picked off by a Leona ult and gets stunned by that, she has a chance to cleanse and get out.
That's true. You also can't cleanse Nautilus knock up, Malphite knock up, or Diana suck in. So
yeah. So I mean, I understand why she took barrier.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I mean, if you just look at the lane matchup, you've got the only CC Tristana has to worry about really is the Sona ulti. The Caitlyn traps, yes, but those are, you know when those are coming. You can see them. So, barrier, I think, a good choice. Caitlyn taking cleanse. Do you think Caitlyn would have benefited more from barrier?
What were you saying? I'm sorry, I had a
do you think
advertisement?
Caitlyn took cleanse? Do you think she would? I mean, why cleanse over barrier for Caitlyn?
Well, like I was saying earlier, if you get caught by Leona ult or even a Syndra stun,
Or a Sejuani ult?
I mean, any of those ults can be cleansed out of. Whereas, and it gives her an opportunity to get out.
That is true.
If Malphite hits you, you're just kind of done.
Yeah, that's the truth.
So she's either gonna time her flash to get out of the way of Malphite, or she's just gonna get hit and it's gonna be done.
Speaking of Malphite, you got Malphite Rumble top lane. How do you feel about that as our resident top laner? Malphite with teleport, Rumble with ignite. So Malphite is going to have a lot more mobility and map presence than Rumble is early on.
Yeah, and Malphite. I'm assuming Mr. Friend knows that Rumble hard counters Malphite.
Mm.
And if I remember correctly, didn't Malphite pick into Rumble?
No, Rumble was last pick.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Malphite's aware of that, so he's pretty much looking to try to farm as much as he can and get those teleports in, split push the lane.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised if he loses the tower early, and maybe even on purpose, so that he can farm and do his thing while Rumble tries to run and pick up kills for their team, and he can just teleport in.
Right. Right, and one well-placed teleport can really mean the difference in ending the roaming cycle of an errant top laner. So you do have that going for you. Also, we've got Syndra versus Diana in the mid lane. Now, Syndra, not necessarily a long-range champion as far as mages are concerned, but definitely able to keep people at a distance with all of that pushback she's got going on. Whereas Diana looks to get right up next to you. She's one of the few mages in the game that really loves to auto attack. So what do you think? What do you think about that matchup so far?
I'm not much of a mid player. I have played Diana quite a bit in the top lane. And how that matchup generally would work, I mean, Syndra's based on burst. She's going to try to 100 to 0 you. So I wouldn't be surprised if Diana maxes her Q and W together. So she'll, instead of prioritizing Q, it's going to be Q, W, Q, W.
Right.
Alternating the levels there. If she can land, if her shield lands really well, she should be able to survive. And if she can survive the initial burst, she loses that fight.
Right. Right, and you know that's the key. Level 6 surviving Syndra's ultimate is extremely important. So here we go. We're starting out. Both teams going. Everybody's on their way. Sona had the Biscuiteer and the Explorer. Leona did not. So interesting mastery setups going on there. And we've got both teams sort of running towards the mid lane. We've got a more spread out fashion for blue team, and red team is all congregated there. So we're sort of just having a little dancey dance going on here. Taunts, jokes, running around in circles. You know, the usual, the typical early game fare for when somebody gets caught trying to maybe invade. We see Nautilus over here, Sejuani looking to go that direction. Rumble's just hanging out in top lane by himself. We got all of blue team split in that line across the map, very defensive position, and all of red team getting into one place looking to make something happen.
And I'm actually looking at Leona's masteries, and her masteries are 121.8. So that's why she does not have Biscuiteer. She has full defense masteries, and she's going to be trying to ideally be the tank for the team.
Her and Sejuani. I mean, Sejuani just gets big. Sejuani is, especially with the changes now, it's easier for her to get bigger because she's just better at clearing jungle, better at ganking, all of the things that she was doing before. Those quality of life buffs really helped her. So we're going to see that Wolves Blue start for both junglers. Everybody's just having a good old time.
Yeah, I mean, game 1 of today, we saw that phenomenal blitz boil. And today we're not seeing any sort of invade. Neither team's really set up to invade. Malphite's generally pretty weak, level 1. Diana doesn't have a whole lot she can do. She can scout with her Q, that's probably about as far as it goes. And if Nautilus would start hook, it's going to make his jungle very difficult. So,
right.
They decided just to defend.
You do have the Leona on red side. Leona makes invading a little bit easier, but I definitely agree with you.
And we're looking. Tristana's actually taking. Oh, Tristana's red barred right now.
Yeah, she's very low. Tristana and Leona both. Caitlyn has 87 attack damage, level 1, with that Doran's Blade. So she is hurting quite a bit, especially with the poke from Sona in addition. So Caitlyn's just going to get some auto attacks onto that tower. Tristana, level 1 red barred again. She just levels up to 2, but still very hurt. And Caitlyn's just going to auto attack her down there. I'm not really certain exactly what's going on. There was a gank top lane by Sejuani, or there will be one. I wasn't watching that specifically. Rumble's going in on the tower on Malphite. We've also got this business going on down here. Tristana pinned to her tower. Caitlyn could just auto attack her a couple of times and get that kill. Malphite and Rumble doing that dance top lane still. There goes the Piltover. Leona and Tristana trying desperately to make sure that nothing goes awry up there.
And that's Sejuani sitting in that top bush, being very patient.
Yes, very patient. Nautilus already level 4, so he's already up a level on the enemy jungler because Sejuani just is sitting there in that bush, and Malphite's content, as you said, to let Rumble just push the tower, and he's going to make things happen. Almost death there. Syndra having to flash the wall to get away from Nautilus and Diana, so we've got that going on. Tristana taking another Piltover, so she's extremely low down there in the bot lane. Things are going to happen. Rumble already went back. There was an engagement by Leona going in on Caitlyn. The exhaust down there. Tristana too afraid to get in the fight because she knows that a couple auto attacks from Caitlyn is going to be the death of her. She's also not going back. So she's just in a very dangerous place right now. She better go back or Caitlyn's going to draw first blood very quickly here.
And you're noticing that red team has that ward and they're